In this video, I'm going to teach you the 3V 5V circuit, how to troubleshoot a 3V 5V circuit failure. We're gonna study its components, how to fix short circuit, and I'm going to teach you how to draw the schematic for any 3V and 5V circuit, and much more. So stay tuned if you want to rise your troubleshooting skills. Let's get started. Please, if you are serious about improving your repair skills, subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified for future videos like this one. And to be part of our family where I have over 1000 friends, you are very welcome. All links in the description. Also, you're gonna find in the description the link for a full article in my website about all what we have discussing in this video. So this is the 3V 5V circuit that we're gonna study. Let's use the multimeter. Let's put the multimeter, as you can see, to the 20 volts. Of course, if we check this inductor, we have 5 volt, and this inductor we have 3 volt. This is very simple and very basic. But if you didn't find here 5 volt and 3 volt, maybe you will stuck, especially for beginners. You will not figure out where is the problem. Okay, so I'm going to teach you from the beginning how to trace the voltage from the beginning to the end in the 3V 5V circuit in order to fix it if you didn't find 3V and 5V. So guys, for this circuit, we don't have MOSFET. We have controller IC. One IC for this channel and the second IC for this channel. So for this channel, for example, for 5V channel, we have this IC, and over here we have the input. If we check here, we have 19 volt, as you can see. This is basically the part. Here we have the input. Okay, and here we have ceramic capacitors, input capacitors, as you can see here, where we have 19 volt. So we have the IC here, and we have the inductor where we can check 5 volt, and we have 4 ceramic capacitors. Pay attention. And we have the output here. We have, as you can see, 2 ceramic capacitors, big ceramic capacitors. Means here we have the output. And if you follow this trace, as you can see, guys, here we can check the 5 volt in the pad here in PG306. So this is the test point for 5 volt. And over here we have the test point for 3.3 volt, as you can see. Okay, always we follow the traces. Okay, the same for 3.3 volt. We have here, over here we have the input. You see, we have 19 volt. Then it will be applied to the IC. The IC will generate 3.3 volt, pass through this inductor, and we will get here 3.3 volt in this 2 filtering capacitor, and in the test point we have 3.3 volt. So this is basically the components, 2 identical channels. But sometimes, guys, you can find MOSFETs. Instead of ICs like those, you can find MOSFETs. So guys, we have another motherboard here. Do you see? We have 2 inductors, duplicated inductors, the same rule. If we check this inductor, for example, let's check. We have here 3.3 volt. This inductor, we have 5 volt. Of course, we have the electrolytic capacitor for this channel. We can even check here. We have 3.3 volt. This one also for this channel. We have 5 volt, okay, and we have the pad or the test point here. We have 5 volt for this channel, and we have 3.3 volt, as you can see, for this channel, and we have the IC over here, the control IC. So the same as this circuit, okay, but for this circuit we have controller. We don't have MOSFET. Even if we check the back, do you see, we don't have MOSFETs. But for this one over here, we have 4 MOSFETs in the back. Let's check the back here, exactly the back over here. Let's check, guys. Do you see? We have 4 MOSFETs. So these 2 MOSFETs, as you can see, for 5 volt channel, we can even check here. We have 5 volt. Here also we have 5 volt because these 2 MOSFETs are connected. For those MOSFET also, so let's check here, guys. We have 3.3 volt. This side also we have to find here 3.3 volt because these 2 MOSFETs are connected, and this, by the way, this inductor is for the input. We're gonna find 19 volt, as you can see. This is the input, and we have 3 ceramic capacitors as input, as you can see, 3 ceramic capacitors into input, as you can see, guys, for this channel 5 volt, and we have other 3 capacitors for 3.3 volt channel, as you can see. Okay, so we have the input inductor, 3 capacitors, 2 MOSFETs, as you can see, for this channel. So let's draw the schematic for these 2 motherboards, for the motherboard with MOSFETs and for the motherboard for ICs. Let's draw it, guys. Please pay attention, because if you master the schematics and how to draw it, you can easily troubleshoot and fix and imagine the schematic in your head and figure out the solution. Okay, so let's do it. So guys, we have this circuit and this circuit. Let's begin, for example, with this circuit that contains the MOSFETs, draw its schematic, and then draw the schematic for this motherboard also. So let's begin with this circuit, with this motherboard, guys. We have in the input, we have PL48, where we have 19 volts, and we have 3 ceramic capacitors for this channel, 3 ceramic capacitors for this channel, 2 MOSFETs. Then we have inductor, we have electrolytic capacitor in the output, electrolytic capacitor in the output, and of course we have the IC, and of course in the output we have also ceramic capacitors. And we have the pad or the test point for this channel and for this channel. So guys, remember, let's do it very quickly. So guys, let's draw here first the IC. We have the IC. The IC, its reference is PU1000. So PU1000. Okay, I will draw the component and then put the reference above it. Here, what we have here inductor, we have, guys, here electrolytic capacitor connected to the ground. Okay, here we have 2 MOSFETs. The first MOSFET Q, the second MOSFET Q. We will put the references after. This one, the source for this one is connected to the ground. Also, always the gate connected to the IC. Here we have the drain. Connected to what? Connected to 3 ceramic capacitors in the input. Okay, 3 ceramic capacitors connected to the ground. Here we have inductor. PL, do you remember PL48? And here, of course, we have B+. This is B+, guys. B+ will pass through ceramic capacitors, then through this MOSFET. This MOSFET will receive the control signal from the IC. So here we gonna get over here what? 3.3 volt. 3.3 volts always. We call it 3.3 volt always. So the same for the other side. We have inductor, another inductor, in order to get what? To get 5 volts. Of course, always. And of course here also we have 1 MOSFET, the second MOSFET. We're gonna put the references after. Okay guys, we have the same B+ here. So the drain here connected to what? To 3 ceramic capacitors. All ceramic capacitors connected together and connected to what? To the ground. And over here, basically we have the same inductor. Let's do like this, because we have the same inductor. Okay guys, and here of course we have the electrolytic capacitor plus. This one connected to the ground, and here we have control signal. Now let's name this component using the motherboard. The IC PU100. This inductor PL46 for 3 volt and PL47 for 5 volt. So here, guys, for 3 volt we have PL46. Here we have PL47. Guys, okay. The capacitor PC111 for 3 volt and PC114 for 5 volt. So here we have PC111. And over here we have PC114. So the test point PG6 for 3 volt and PG8 for 5 volt. Here we have PG6 and here we have PG8 test point. So in the input we have PL48 already, we have already done PL48. Let's see these two MOSFETs for 3.3 volt. We have the 3.3 volt MOSFETs, we have BQ96 and BQ98. So BQ96 and here BQ98. So let's see for 5 volts, BQ97, BQ99. So BQ97 and BQ99 for this one. So do you see, guys? Very simple. Let's now draw the schematic for this circuit also. Very easy. So for this one, we have B plus passed through a pad. Let's see like this. This is basically pad. Sorry, I will use the black pin. Then pass through two ceramic capacitors connected to the ground. Then we have IC. This is IC. After I will name those ICs. Then we have inductor. Then ceramic capacitors. 4 ceramic capacitors, okay. Then we will get plus 3.3 volts always. We're gonna see all this in the motherboard. Very simple. For 5 volts also, we have here a pad. We have 2 ceramic capacitors connected to the ground. Then we have another IC. We have 3 ceramic capacitors connected to the ground. And we will get what? 5 volts always. Very easy, guys. Of course here we have the test point here and we have the test point here. Let's name the component in this board. So for 3.3 volt, the IC is PU200 and the inductor PL303. So the IC PU200, the inductor PL303, and in the output the test point PG303. So this one here PG303, the same as the inductor, because also you can use inductor as output. So for 5 volt we have the IC PU201, the inductor PL304, the pad PG306. So PU201, I forget the inductor here, PL304, and the test point, the PG in the output, PG306. So for the pad, for 3.3 volt, we have PG305. Here you can check 19 volt, the presence of 19 volt. PG305. And the output, the input test point for 3.3 volt, we have to go to the back here. We have PG302. PG302. So guys, this is it for 3.3 volt 5 volt. Here we have a schematic for the first board where we have just ICs, and over here we have another schematic where we have MOSFETs. Okay, so over here we have the first channel. So for this schematic, the channels are vertical. As you can see, the channels are vertical. We have the first channel for 3.3 volt, the second channel for 5 volt, and for the second schematic in some motherboard, you can find that the channels are horizontal, as you can see in this side. Okay, so For motherboards, there is a horizontal channel like those, and vertical channel means we have 3.3 volt in this side, 5 volt in this side. Okay? So guys, I hope that you understand this video. Please don't forget to like, because your like motivate me to create unique content for you. Share and join me in my Patreon page for anyone who want to contact with me one-on-one, and of course to accelerate learning. And of course, don't forget to put the comment. I always do my best to answer all comments. And check my website prospace20.com for more content. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.